Hi, I'm Beth with TB Properties Buys Land. In that previous video that I just posted, we were discussing the difference between your appraised value and your market value. Okay, so what we discussed is that every county, every state's different. That appraised value, assessed value, I'm sorry, from your tax collector could have nothing to do with what the market value of your property is. Okay, so that is where the tax revenue is based upon. That county could be driving up the appraisal value in order to reap in more taxes, or they could be keeping it artificially low so that you could benefit tax-wise in that particular county or state. Okay, now if your assessed value is similar to your I guess market value, there's still things that we have to look at in your particular property. You can never truly compare your property to other people's property without looking at the nitty-gritty. Okay, so some of the biggest things that are going to contribute to value for you is, number one, do you have access to your property? Is there a road going to your property? Is there a county road going to your property? That means the county's maintaining that. If it's snowing, if it's raining, if it gets torn up, whatever it is a public entity going to maintain your road so that you can continually get to your property any time of year? Okay, so that's one of the most important things, is having access to your property. Now, maybe you have a road, but it's a private road. Okay, if you don't have a public road that's being maintained by a county, is that private road a legal road for you to access? I.e., do you have a legal easement across that road to your property? Okay, so this is the difference between physical access and do you have legal access to your property. So that's another thing that brings value to your property or could tremendously devalue your property. Okay, another question is, do you have a survey on your property? A survey for a decent sized property could cost $2,000 if it had been previously surveyed fairly recently. If it's a smaller property, if you have a very old property and it was not subdivided very well, if the records were not kept or they got destroyed at the county level, you could be looking at $6, $7, $8, $9, $10,000+ for a survey. We had a very small piece of property, 15 acres. We were quoted close to $10,000 for the survey, and we were warned that because of how the property had been passed down through the years, that they could run all that research and never actually be able to even survey the property because the records were so badly kept. Okay, so having a survey on file through the county, that could greatly benefit you. Okay, so that can bring the value up on your property. It could also diminish the value of your property if you've got really bad record keeping, not you, but the county, okay, over time. How long has it been since you've been to the property? What's happened to your property since you've been there? Has it become a dumping ground? Google Earth is a great resource for us to check in over time and see if your neighbors have been dropping cars and all kinds of things on your property, old couches, that sort of thing. Okay, it could cost a lot to clean your property up if people have been illegally using it to dump on. Okay, so that's an important question to ask, and that will devalue your property. Keep in mind that you going out there and hauling off an old car or truck, may be one thing, but if you've got somebody, an investor trying to go in there and clean up that property, they can't have somebody tow your car or that old truck without having the title. Okay, that gets into some legal type issues, so that could be more expensive and a bigger deal than you might think to clean your property up. Okay, another thing that could change the value of your property is the trees. Has somebody gone out there and clear cut the trees? Did you sell off all the trees? Okay, that could be an automatic, cut the value of the property in half if that was done really, not very nice. It was very ugly how it looks in the end. Okay, so these are things that can bring the value of the property down. When it comes to assessed value versus market value, you can't compare the two. Like we said in the first video, you don't know where that appraised or assessed value is coming from, but you do want to look at market value. So what I've talked about in today's video are several factors that can bring down the value of your property. These are things that we're going to ask about when we get you on the phone or we're sending you an email. We want to know about these things because that can bring the value of your property down. Think about if you're trying to buy a property and it's ugly, all the trees have been cut down, there's stumps everywhere, you can't get out there, there's no road to the property, or you can't get out there half the year because of weather. How valuable is your property at that point? So I hope this has answered a few questions about value when it comes to your bare land. Please feel free to reach out to us for any detailed questions. We're happy to help you. We purchase property in cash and we close through a title company for safety. And we try to take a look at your property individually and make you a fair offer on it. So thanks again for listening. We look forward to hearing from you.